Coach Sandy Nightpaper. Welcome back to my channel, Running Wild. I was asked to do a video on ankle mobility, and so I'm going to try to do that. But one thing about ankle mobility, it's important to think about why you lost some mobility in the first place, and where you're tight, if you're tight in the front of the ankle or the back of the ankle. But with that said, I do have some exercise I can show you that physical therapist taught me. And so I'm going to start with probably the most popular one I've had recommended to me, and it's banded ankle distraction. So you can do this two different ways. I'm going to do it standing and then kneeling. So you want a band. I just have it hooked up to the couch. And you want a decent amount of pressure at the front of your ankle. And so that's just creating a distraction for like the back of your leg so you can get more mobility from this position. But what you want to do, you want to make sure your ankle and your foot tripod is firmly on the ground. So not ankle, heels firmly on the ground, ball the big toe, ball the little toe. And then so from here, you want to track your knee. Try to keep my hips square. Track your knee over the second and third big toe. You don't want to teach your knee to collapse in because that's just bad running mechanics. So track your knee in over your second and third toes. And then you just kind of go back and forth. And again, maintain that foot tripod. You can also do this kneeling, which I actually prefer to do it kneeling a lot of times, especially like before run. So same idea. Sometimes I'll put my hands on my knees just for a little extra pressure. But again, keeping your heel, big toe, little toe, or the ball of those toes on the ground, and tracking your knee over your second and third toe. And then just kind of going back and forth. Next one is called ankle cars. And so what you want to do, you want to put your hands kind of around your knee and shin to track, or just to keep this part of your leg in place as you move your ankle. So all you do is you want to try to get the full range of motion out of your ankle. So I'm going to do as big as circles as I can. This is actually my foot with less range of motion, but you want to try to keep it smooth and just really go as far as you can in that circle. This way your body's like, you're not going to find more mobility unless you actually get your foot practicing that. So you want to go both ways. Trying to get my little toe on the ground, sliding all the way I can to the other side, then going up. So this is definitely one of those exercises where it's quality over quantity. You don't need to do this for 5 minutes. If you just do a couple good, maybe 3 circles each direction, that's plenty. But again, you want to make sure you're really fully exploring your range of motion as you do these circles. So this next one is kind of a calf stretch, but it puts my foot in dorsiflexion. So this is dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. So putting my foot in dorsiflexion. And I got creative here. I'm using part of a board, or my MOBA board, and a yoga block to create this slant. And then from here, it's just your typical calf stretch. So you can do straight leg, go up, and again, your knee should be tracking over that mainly your second toe and third toe. So you can do it straight, or you can do a bent knee, and then just hold. So you can hold this for 30 seconds plus at a time, or you could do little pulses back and forth. And similar to the first mobility exercise, you want to keep your heel, big toe, ball, small big toe, all firmly planted on the ground. So this next one, it's still a similar idea, except this time I'm putting my big toe in extension. So you could do this with a towel. I have this little foam thing. And so I'm just putting my big toe up, but then again, trying to keep my foot tripod. And then again, I'm just going back and forth, tracking my knee over my second toe. So this is just a really long band, and what you can do for another idea is wrap this around you could either just do your lower leg or start around your foot and kind of do like an ankle wrap. And then once you have this wrapped around your ankle, like 50% tension of this band, what you want to do is just move your foot up and down. So this is going to help just with that like fascia movement and just getting a little bit more blood to flow to the area when you take it off. So this is another idea just to wrap this around your ankle. Another thing to think about with ankle mobility is if something is weak and need to be strengthened. So I like to use this Movo board because and basically I'll do like single leg exercises balancing on it, and it's better to start with a hard surface. Sometimes you'll see people like on like foam or like rubber disc and it's all wobbly. If you're lacking ankle stability, something hard is going to help give your foot more information first. So I definitely recommend this as a way just to like strengthen your ankles. So like you can do a lot of things with this board. Like I always like to do like a simple runner's touch. So start off like this, kind of go down, back up, and the whole time like I'm just working on ankle and foot strength. It's also the design of this board, it works your big toe a lot, and that has a lot to do with ankle stability. So again, if you have poor ankle mobility, definitely think about strengthening your ankle as well. So I'm going to add in some quick facts if you have chronically sprained ankles. So one of the first things to think about is that chronic ankle instability often leads to loss of dorsiflexion. The tendons and ligaments in your ankle, they can actually heal up to 98%, and so that will feel like your ankle is totally back to normal on a healing level. However, neuron fibers don't necessarily heal, and that means you have to retrain your foot on how you want it to move after an ankle or foot injury. So people who don't retrain their foot how to move after an ankle or foot injury, that often leads to other ankle sprains or foot issues or something, maybe even something higher up in the hip down the road. So it's so important that after any type of foot or ankle injury that you're retraining that part of your body on how to move again. Additionally, the big toe is responsible for 80 to 85% of your foot stability. So don't waste your time doing any exercise that take your first metatarsal or big toe off the ground as you're retraining your foot. Those are my ideas to get you started. Again, it really depends on where your ankle is tight and why you lost mobility in the first place if you keep rolling your ankles on the trail. So those are all things to think about, but these are some exercises to get you started. Hopefully it helps. Until next time, keep running wild, and thank you so much for watching.